forgot that. Okay. So, Padma Sanastham Shri. Oh, we are doing Shri Venkatesha Prapatti. We forgot to do this. Okay.
Can we do the couple lines, sir?
Huh?
Can we just
redo it?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So Sri Venkatesha Prapattihi, starting with the first verse, which is a prayer to Sri Mahalakshmi. Ishanam Jagataha Asya Venkatapatehe Vishnoho Param Preyasim, the one who is the most beloved Param Preyasim. To whom? To Lord Vishnu, who is the ruler of the entire world, the one who resides in his heart, Vakshasthala Nitya Vasarasikam, and the one who enhances Kshanti, the capacity, the forgiveness, the patience of the Lord. Then what? She herself is described in this form. She is Padmasanastham. She is the one who is seated in the lotus. Padma itself is heart, Hridayam itself is likened to a lotus. So when we say that Sri Mahalakshmi is seated on a lotus, really speaking, it is Hridayam. So she is seated in the very, very heart, very essence, as the very essence of one's Swarupa. So this here she is the one who is seated in Lord Vishnu's Hridayam, which is Kamalam, which is pure, which is in the form of a lotus. Not only that, Padmalankrita Pani Pallava Yugam, the one who holds buds, lotus buds in her hands, and the one who is adorned with lotuses. Lotuses standing for purity. Stands for, that's why she is always depicted with lotus in this particular form as Mahalakshmi along with Lord Vishnu. And Shriyam, she is in the form of Shri. Shri is the one who is sought after. Ashriyate bhaktaihi iti. Shri means the one who is sought after by the devotees. So she is the one who is sought by the devotees. Thus, she is Shri. Shri also means wealth or prosperity or abundance. Vatsalyadi gunojvalam, the one who has sattvic qualities like what? Vatsalyam. Vatsalyam is affection, motherly, maternal affection, maternal tenderness. Who's endowed with these qualities, unto that goddess Mahalakshmi is Aham Vande, my salutation. Then after the first verse which addresses Lord Mahalakshmi, then we have all the verses that address Sri Venkateshwara. Shriman Kripa Jalanidhe Kritavat Shriman Kripa Jalanidhe Krita Sarvaloka
Shriman Kripa Jalanidhe Krita Sarvaloka
Sarvajna Shakta Nata Vatsala Sarvasheshin
Sarvajna Shakta Nata Vatsala Sarvasheshin
Swamin Sushila Sulabhashrita Parijata
Swamin Sushila
Sulabhashrita Parijata Shri Venkatesha Charanau Sharanam Prapadye.
Shri Venkatesha Charanam Sharanam Prapadye.
So Shri Venkatesha Charanau Sharanam Prapadye. So Shri Venkatesha Charanau. Charanau is dual case. The feet. Feet always are said in the dual because there are 2 feet. So Sharanam. Sharanam means, so I seek refuge. Sharanaga, I seek refuge at the feet of Lord Venkateshwara.
Prapatti means seeking.
Prapatti means surrender. Charanagati. So this surrender is a very, very important, essential idea, especially in this Vishishta Advaita, in Dvaita, Sharanagati. So surrender to the Lord. Surrender, generally we think of surrender as giving up. So defeat, yeah. Surrender is, when do you surrender? You surrender when you are defeated or when you are helpless. It's not quite the same here with Bhagavan, you know. With Bhagavan, it's not a sense of defeat or giving up, but really more in terms of understanding. So understanding of my relationship with the Lord, understanding of my connection with the Lord as the one, as a Jiva Ishvara. Which as a Jiva Ishvara, as an individual, I am, even though I am one with the Lord, but at the same time in Vyavahara. So I seek the Lord's grace. You know. So for me to be able to do anything, I am not Swatantra. Even from an Atma standpoint, even though I am Swatantra, but still as a Jiva, as an individual, in my pursuit, in my spiritual pursuit, I am always seeking the grace of the Lord. So the more I understand what Bhagavan is, the more I understand karma, the more I understand dharma, the more I understand Ishvara, the more I understand my relationship with Ishvara, then that itself, in that understanding, there is surrender. Because I know I am never separate from the Lord. I am one with the whole system, which is itself Bhagavan. Bhagavan is, the whole Jagat is a manifestation of the Lord. So once I have that understanding, there is really no sense of defeat. In fact, there is a sense of relaxation. Like a child relaxes in the presence of the parent. The child doesn't surrender to the parent because of a sense of defeat, but always relaxes in the presence of the parent, knowing full well that it is going to be protected. So that is a different kind of a surrender. So he says Shriman, he is Shriman, Shri, the one who has Shri is called Shri. Is a Matup Pratyaya ending. Matup Pratyaya is a kind of a affix that is attached to the word Shri. Shri Mat, Shri, the one who has Shri is called Shri Mat. Then the Shri becomes Shriman. You know that word Shri plus Matup becomes Shriman in the first case. So Shriman is when it is addressed, or Shriman. Shriman also, Shriman Narayana. So Shriman Narayana, Shri. So the one who is inseparable, that sense, that Matup also gives the sense of being inseparable. So the one who is always inseparable from Shri, he is Sri Venkateshwara. Then Kripa Jalanadhe, the one who is the ocean of compassion. Krita Sarvaloka, so the one who is the Karta, the ultimate Karta. Kartuhu Ajnaya. So because of the Ajna, because of the consent, the permission, because of the grace of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is Jagat Karta. The Jagat Karta is called Karta. So Krita Sarvaloka, the one who has created the whole universe. Not only that, the one who also protects the whole universe. Sarvajnaha, who is omniscient as Bhagavan. As Ishvara, he is all-knowing. He is Shaktaha. Shaktaha means capable. The one who is not only the all-knowing. See, one can know a lot, but you have to be capable of doing. You know, there are people who are visionaries. They don't do any work. Others have to do work. Then there are people who work. They don't have any vision. So here Bhagavan, who is not only a visionary, but he is also Shaktaha. He is the one who himself is capable of doing everything. Nata Vatsala, so the one who is affectionate towards those who, this is bhaktas, towards his devotees. And he is Sarva Sheshin. Sheshin, this is Sheshaha. Shesha Sheshi Bhavaha. This is a characteristic of Vishishta Advaita. You know, the relationship between Ishvara and Jiva. So according to, in Vishishta Advaita there is the inert and the sentient. There is Jiva and the sentient beings are there. Then there is the inert world, and there is Ishvara. There are three things. So these three things are interconnected, in which Bhagavan is independent and the other two are dependent on the Lord. So the relationship between the Lord and the Jivas and the Jada, the Jiva Jada Jagat. So that is what's called as Shesha Sheshi Bhavaha. Sheshaha means the one who's dependent. Sheshi or Sheshin is the one who is independent. So the Bhagavan is called as Sarva Sheshin, the one who's independent, who's Swatantraha. He is the Lord, he is in charge of everything. Swamin, the one who is the same. Similar meaning, Swami means the one who is the master or the one who is the Lord. Sushila Sulabhashrita Parijata, the one who's like the Parijata tree, like the Kalpa Vriksha. You know, there is a tree in Lord Indra's garden, which is a tree that fulfills all desires. Karma, it's like karma, you know. It fulfills all the desires of the devotees. Tree indicates fruits, you know, phalam. So for karma also we call it karma phalam. So like the tree so bears fruits, like that similarly our karma also bears fruits. So this is the tree, the heavenly tree which fulfills all desires in the form of karma phalam. So the Bhagavan who fulfills all desires of what? Of his devotees, ashritam. Ashrita are the ones who take refuge in Bhagavan. So the devotees who sulabha, who's easily attained by devotees who have virtues, like Sushilam, the one who have virtues, who have good qualities, who have sattva gunas. Such devotees who take refuge in him, he is the one who fulfills their desires. Unto that Sri Venkateshwara, my Charano Sharanam Prapatti, I seek refuge at his feet. Anupurarpita Sujata Sugandhi Pushpa Saurabhya Saurabhakarau Samasanniveshau Saumyo Sadanubhavanepi Navanubhavyau Shri Venkatesha Charanau Sharanam Prapatye. So I again seek refuge at the feet of Lord Venkateshwara. Saumyo sadhanubhavane api navanubhavyo. Saumyo means the one, the feet, you know, every verse has to do with his feet, you know. The feet, when I surrender to the Lord, okay, then when I visualize the Lord, because the Lord is infinite, we always visualize his feet. You know? Because the head we cannot see. The head is beyond the heavens. So that Bhupadau, so the one whose feet are on the earth, the Lord being infinite. So if I have to visualize the form of the Lord, what am I going to see in front of me? I'm only going to see his feet. So thus feet become a so important upasana murti for us. In our tradition, feet are a upasana murti. It's a symbol of upasana, of prayer to the Lord. Also, feet are the lowest part of the body. So, connection to the feet means itself implies surrender. Because you bow your head or bow to the feet. So, thus, Saumya, the feet that are pleasing in appearance. So, when the bhakta looks at the feet of the Lord, this is the author. This is his visualization. These are his thoughts and ideas that come to his mind. Sadanu bhavane api navanu bhavyo. So the one that are always, though always being experienced, the Lord's presence is always experienced, yet what? At the same time it is new. You don't get tired. So you don't get tired of the feet. The puja is something like a puja, you know. So people who do puja regularly, so it's not something you're supposed to get bored with. You don't get monotonous, you know. There are other activities that you get tired of. If you repeat the same thing, any distraction is like that. So if I'm looking for a distraction, in the beginning there is a novelty. Then after a while it wears off. Then you get bored. Then you want to change. You want to change. With Bhagavan it is not like that, really speaking. So when I am praying to the Lord, when I am thinking of the Lord, when I am worshipping in the Lord, it is not something that we are supposed to get tired of. You may get tired of it if it is a distraction for us. Then you get bored. But otherwise, one doesn't get bored because it is more connected with oneself, with one's own swarupa. It's like I don't get tired of looking at myself in the mirror. So we don't get bored. We keep on doing that. Why? Because it makes me closer to myself. Anything that takes me to my swarupa generally makes me, I am at home. I am in harmony with my essential nature, with my essential self. Anything outside of that, I am in dissonance or in disharmony with. Therefore, it becomes a problem. So here, Bhagavan, I am always in touch with the Bhagavan. I am always experiencing the Lord. At the same time, like something like Ganga, Ganga Jal, the river, though flowing, so though changing is always the same. Even though it always looks the same, it is fresh like that. So Bhagavan also always being there, at the same time it is always experienced as something which is fresh. Anu Purarpita Sujata Sugandhi Pushpa Saurabhya Saurabhakarau Samasannivesho. So Samasannivesho, the one whose form is such that his feet are evenly placed, evenly in position. When you see Lord Venkateshwara's Murti, so generally the feet are very, very, very set, very firm, evenly placed. He's standing straight, as if ready to grant you any boon that you wish. And wearing what? Wearing a garland. Anu Purarpita means the one who wears the garland. Garland, Vanamala. No? He wears what is called as a Vanamala. Vanamala is a mala. The long mala is called Vanamala. So the mala, the garland that extends beyond the knees, almost to the ankles. So that particular garland, he wears this Vanamala that is beautiful, that is full of pushpam. Saurabhyam is fragrance. So Sugandhi. So the one who wears the garland is full of varieties of flowers, fragrant flowers, with his feet evenly in position. Unto him, Venkateshwara, whose form is very pleasing in appearance, my surrender. Sadyo vikasi samudittvara sandra raga saurabhya nirbhara saroruha samya vartam. Okay, you need not try this. Samyakshu sahasa padeshu vilekayantau Sri Venkatesha charanau sharanam prapadye. So again, the comparison here, the Lord's feet are compared to lotuses, Padma. Always the lotus feet of the Lord. Lotus. He says, Samyakshu sahasa padeshu vilekayantau. Samyak susahasa padeshu. Padam, here's the words. So the one who is prominently, so compared, vilekayanto, the one that is written about, the ones that are prominently compared to the lotus, the feet of the Lord. Where? In the literature, in our tradition, the feet are always compared to the lotus. What kind of lotus is? So he describes all these words. Samya Vartam. Samya Vartam is the Varta, the talk, the comparison of the Samya, the comparison of the feet to the lotuses. What kind of lotuses? Sadyo Vikasi Samuditvara. So freshly blooming, freshly blossoming, freshly open lotuses, which are what? Samudittvara means that are well grown, that have fully grown, that are dense. Sandra Raga Saurabhya, full of fragrance and raga. Raga means red, that which are red in color, which are full of fragrance. Saroruha. Saroruha means the ones that are born of the water. So thus, these lotuses which are freshly blooming, which are well opened, which are dense, which are red, which are fragrant, etc. So these feet of the Lord are compared to these all over, well compared, all over written above. And to those feet I surrender. Then what else? Bhakta visualizes now. When he looks at the feet of the Lord, he sees a lot of these lines, lines and marks and furrows. No, the feet, here the sole of the feet. So that also reminds him of something. Lekhamaya dvaja sudha kalashatapatra vajrankushamburuha kalpaka shankachakraihi भव्यैरलङ्कृततलौ परतत्त्वचिह्नैः श्रीवेङ्कटेशचरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. Lekhamaya. Lekhamaya are the lines.
Rekha or Lekha?
Rekha. Rekha or Lekha. So either one. Lines. The lines or the furrows. So these remind him of what? These are Paratattva Chihnam. Chihnam is the symbols, the divine symbols. So these lines, when he looks at, he is reminded of these divine symbols. Like what? Dhvaja. Dhvaja is the flag. Then Sudha Kalasha. Sudha Kalasha is a Kalasham. Is a Purna Kumbham of nectar. So the Kalasha of nectar. Atapatra. Atapatra is an umbrella. Vajram. Vajram is a weapon. Ankusham. Ankusha is a gourd. Amburuha is a lotus. Kalpaka, tree. And Shankachakram. Shankachakram is the conch and the discus. So all these objects are all associated with Bhagavan, Sri Vishnu. So then he says, Bhavyai Alankrita Talau. Talam is the feet, the sole of the feet, or the palm also can be taken. So palm also has all these lines. So when he looks at all these lines, he visualizes, he sees, they remind him of all these different kinds of symbols, divine symbols that are associated with Lord Vishnu. So he says, so unto these feet of the Lord, I surrender. It's all upasana murti. Then, not only that, when I look at the feet of the Lord, I see the color. He notices the Bhakta sitting there looking at the feet all the time. So what is going to happen? He starts associating with different things, So when he sees the feet of the Lord, he sees they are red in color. This is Tamrodara Dyuti Parajita Padmaragau Bahyor Mahobirabhibhuta Mahendra Nilau Udyan Nakhamshu Birudasta Shashanka Bhasau Shri Venkatesha Charanau Sharanam Prapadye. So when I look at the feet of the Lord, they are red in color, not just ordinary red. He says, Padmara, Tamrodara Dyuti Parajita Padmaragau. Tamram is a reddish color. So the reddish color of the Lord is not just ordinary reddish color. It is a reddish color that surpasses the what? The luster of Padmaragau. Padmaragau is rubies, So the pink rubies. So the Lord's feet's color surpass the luster that is seen in these pink rubies. Not only that, they have another luster, an external luster, So Bahyor Mahobhir Abhibhuta Mahendra Nilo. Indra Nila. Indra Nila is blue. Blue sapphire. It's called Indra Nila. So the Lord also surpasses the luster of these Bahya. Bahya means the external luster of blue sapphires, these gems. Udyan Nakham Shubhir Udasta Shashanka Bhasav. Shashanka Bhasaha is moonlight. Shashanka is the moon. So the moonlight is what? Nakham. So the brightness that arises from the nails. Nakha is the nails. So the Lord's nails are white like ivory. So thus the brightness of the nails of his feet are like the brightness of the moonlight. So this is in regards to the colors of his feet, and to those feet he says, Charanam Prapatye. I surrender. I surrender to the feet of the Lord. Then what else? These feet of the Lord are Saprema Bhiti Kamalakara Pallavabhyam Samvahanepi Sapadi Klamamadadhanau Kantavavang Manasa Gochara Saukumaryo Sri Venkatesha Charanau Sharanam Prapatye. Kantau is the one whose beauty. Kanta is beautiful. So the feet whose beauty is what? Avang Manasa Gocharaha, who are Saukumaryo. So Sukumaraha is delicate. So the Lord whose delicate feet cannot be described, are beyond description, beyond the mind's Vak and Manasa Gocharam. So the beauty of the feet of the Lord is something. Feet is also Mahima, Bhagwan Shariram, body. So the feet of the Lord, their beauty or the form of the Lord, their beauty is beyond the description, beyond the understanding of one's mind, and beyond the description of one's words. Not only that, he says, these are the feet which samvahanepi sapadi klamamadadhanau saprema bhiti kamalakara pallavabhyam. So the feet that were Lakshmi. Lakshmi is always depicted at the feet of the Lord. So always stroking his feet and massaging his feet. So this is not just servitude. It's connected to his Vamana Avatara. So supposedly, in Vamana Avatara, the Lord, so from the small boy he becomes infinite. Yeah, he grows, and with his feet he covers the whole universe with his steps, with his 2 steps. So that very act of covering the whole universe and growing from a boy to the infinite form of the Lord, so must have tired his feet. So Mahalakshmi is there, so massaging his feet or stroking his feet. That's the idea here. So prema bhiti. So with love and also with some concern. About their status, he says. So stroking the feet with what? With her hands which are like lotuses, Kamalakara. So with her lotus-like hands, she is samvahanam. She's stroking or rubbing. He's rubbing the feet of the Lord. So unto those feet I surrender. It says not only that, Mahalakshmi, but then others also. See, one more verse he says about this. Lakshmi Mahi Tadanurupa Nijanubhava Neeladi Divya Mahishi Kara Pallavanam Arunya Sankramanata Kila Sandra Ragav Sri Venkatesha Charanam Sharanam Prapatye. So not only that, these other consorts, Bhagavan is associated, Lord Vishnu is associated with different consorts, So like Lakshmi, Lakshmi, Shri Lakshmi. Then Shri Mahi. Mahi is what? Bhu Devi. Mahi is Prithvi. Okay. And then Neela. Shri Neela. Neela Devi. Neela Devi I mentioned before. So with Sri Venkateshwara, so she was a Gandharva princess who became devoted to the Lord. And she offers her hair. Remember in the story where that that farmer comes and hurts him, and then he loses some hair from his head because of the injury. And then this Neela Devi offers her hair for the Bhagavan to cover up. So then when you go to Venkateshwara temple, so there on the way there is a temple for this Neela Devi. So she is also considered his consort. So when Bhagavan's consort, when you have the Lord with many wives, consort generally we translate as wives. But when this question sometimes people have, why do our gods have more than one wife? So when Bhagavan having consorts, really, we shouldn't look upon them as the way we see relationships, marriage. When Bhagavan is married, then Bhagavan marriage is not like our marriage, So you get up and go shopping and do laundry and clean the house, and this kind of is our marriage, means it is for companionship and all different kinds of things. Bhagavan and his wife don't sit and do chores and do the budget and shopping and all this. Bhagavan consort means that which goes with the Lord, So Shakti. So one is always consort is depicted in the form of Shakti. So like for Shiva there is Parvati or Shakti. Then with Brahmaji there is Saraswati. With Vishnu there is Lakshmi. There is one kind of consort. Then we also have consorts, means the ones who are always with the Lord in the form of Bhaktas. So Bhaktas also consorts, because they are one with the Lord. So thus you will have like Radha and Krishna. So there you have one form of Bhakta. Or sometimes you will have other deities, Ambal and all. So either Shakti herself manifests in different forms, or sometimes when we have gods with more than one consort, there are other manifestations of Shakti. So Shakti would have manifest, for example, in another form, like Sita, Rama and Sita. So where both the god and the goddess take on another manifestation, and therefore that's how they like Shiva. So for Shiva, if you see, so Shakti, Parvati manifests differently in different periods of time, and then again becomes united with him. So thus there are many different ways in which a god end up having more than one consort. So it's not something that we should look or understand like as if it's some kind of a polygamy, it's not like that. So thus here there are many divine consorts. Divya Mahishi. Mahishi means a consort. So the one who has divine consorts like Lakshmi, like Neela Devi, like Prithvi, like Bhu Devi, and all of whom Karapallavanam. So Arunya Sankramanataha, Kila Sandra Ragau. So the one who are so rubbing his feet because of this Sankramanam, because of this he travelled around the whole universe he had to cover as Vamana Avatara. Not only that, he says, his feet also take on this red color from the hands of the Devis. So the consort's hands are red in color, perhaps because of whatever, henna or whatever maybe, but then their hands are red in color. So because of that, associating with that, his feet also take on the red color. Unto those feet is Sharanam Prapadde. I surrender.
Viraji, Padmavati is same as Sri Lakshmi?
Yeah. Holds. Yeah, she manifested as Padmavati. The Kalyanam, Generally Venkateshwara, Padmavati, Kalyanam they will have. That is Mahalakshmi. Nityanamad Vidhi Shivadi Kirita Koti Pratyukta Deepta Navaratna Mahaprarohaihi Nirajana Vidhi Mudaram Upadadhanau Shri Venkatesha Charanam Sharanam Prapadye. So then now the devotee sees Nija Nirajana Vidhim Udaram Upadadhanau. He sees Nirajanam. Nirajanam is Arati. So Arati is being done to Sri Venkateshwara, to the feet of the Lord, to the feet of the Lord. And then he sees the feet lighting up, and they remind him of what? He says, Nityanamad Vidhi Shivadi Kirita Koti Pratyukta Deepta Navaratnam. Okay. So the Lord, he says, Shivadi. Shivadi means Lord Shiva, etc. So he reminds, the brightness that comes from the feet of the Lord is as if he says, Nityanamad. So all the gods come and offer their salutation to Lord Venkateshwara. So Shiva, etc., Shiva, Indra, Brahmaji, all these gods come and offer their salutation at the feet of the Lord. And they are wearing these crowns on their head. Kiritam. Kiritam is a crown. They are crowns which are studded with Ratnam, Navaratnam, with the 9 gems. So they have crowns studded with all kinds of gems. When they offer their salutation to the Lord, what happens? He says, Koti Pratyukta Deeptam. So thousands of rays of light. So the light that shines from these varieties of gems that are there on the crowns of the heads of all these gods, when they are doing namaskara to him, is what he sees. See, shooting forth. Navaratna Mahaprarohaihi means with the shooting up of the light of all these gems. Gems that are there in the crowns of the gods. Then with that he sees all this color, all this light being lit up when Arati is being done to the feet of the Lord, he says. So unto that feet I surrender. Vishnu Pade Parama Ityudita Prashamsau Yau Madhva Utsa Iti Bhogyataya Pyupatau Bhuyastatheti Tava Pani Dala Pradishtau Shri Venkatesha Charanam Sharanam Prapadye. Vishnoho Pade Param Iti Udita Prashamsau. So, this prashamsa, this praise is done about Sri Lord Vishnu's feet. What is the praise? He says, so Paramapadam, the Lord's feet are the Paramam Padam. Paramam Padam is Utkrishtam, the end, the ultimate refuge, the ultimate goal of life is what? Is the feet of the Lord. Means being one with the Sharanagati, being one with the Lord, indicating surrender. He says, this is extolled. Prashamsa, this is extolled, talked about in the Vedas, in the scriptures. Yau Madhva Utsa Iti Bhogyataya Pyupatau. The ones who becomes the source of what? Madhva. Madhva means Madhu, Ananda. So the feet of the Lord, surrendered to which becomes the source of incomparable. Bhogyam means the source of incomparable Ananda, incomparable joy for the devotees. How do you say this? Not only is this said in the Vedas, in the scriptures, but Bhagavan himself says this. How? Bhuyaha tatha iti. Bhuyaha means the Lord himself indicates this with what? With tava pani tala pradishtau. Pradishta means shown. Shown by you. How? By your hands which are pointing to your feet. So Lord Venkateshwara, you see Lord Venkateshwara's murti, then his hand, one hand is pointing towards his feet. That is called Varada. Varada Hasta Mudra. So it is a mudra which indicates surrender. So he says, if you surrender to my feet, then I will bless you. Bhagavan has two mudras. With one hand is in the hand of blessing, and the other hand is pointing at his feet. So the first one, the ones that are pointing at his feet, indicates what? He says, so that when you come and surrender to me, then you will, that feet are the ultimate end, the ultimate source of all joy. It is indicated by Bhagavan himself. So unto those feet I surrender. Not only that, he says, even for Arjuna, you said this. So Parthaya tat sadrisha sarathinam tvayaiva yau darshitau svacharanau sharanam vrajeti bhuyopi mahyam iha tau kara darshitau te Shri Venkatesha charanau sharanam prapadye. So he says, yau darshitau svacharanau sharanam vrajeti. So even for Arjuna also you indicated that, so he should seek refuge at your feet. Now it's interesting. If you recall the story where Arjuna goes to Sri Krishna before the battle. So Arjuna goes and Yudhishthira both go. Duryodhana. Duryodhana goes. So first Duryodhana reaches there, and then he goes and sits by the head of Sri Krishna, because he has to talk to him. As soon as he gets up, he wants to talk to him. So he goes and sits by his head. And then Arjuna comes and comes in and he stands. He doesn't sit, he stands at Sri Krishna's feet. And then of course Lord Krishna wakes up and his eyes first fall on Arjuna. So then etc. We know the story. But then the idea here is what? So that Arjuna, seeking the feet of the Lord means seeking refuge at the Lord's feet. So same, that idea this devotee thinks about, that story. He says, so you showed yau darshitau svacharanau sharanam vrajeti. So by your own actions you indicated to Arjuna that, so he seeks surrender, he seek refuge in you, and then he asked for you in the battle, and then you became his charioteer. So similarly, also of course, he gave him Vishwarupa Darshanam and all. So he says, Kara Darshitau. So with your own hands. So as Vishwarupa Darshanam, he gave the hand of blessing. It's called Abhaya Mudra. So Abhaya Bhagavan, that the hand of blessing is called Abhaya Mudra. So fearlessness. No, you need not worry. So this promise you also gave to Arjuna. So unto those feet at which Arjuna also surrendered, I also surrender. Man Murnikaliya Pane Vikataatavishu Shri Venkatadrishikare Shirasi Shrutinam Chittepyananya Manasam Samamahitaute Shri Venkatesha Charanam Sharanam Prapadye. So your feet, he says, your feet are always so rested firmly. Where? Means you bless in this way. How? Man Murni. At may your feet always be firmly planted on my head. On my head. Means may I be blessed. Like Bali, like Mahabali. So the Lord planting his feet on the head of Mahabali indicates what? That's Sharanagati. So he surrendered. He surrenders his ego. Mahabali surrenders his ego as the third foot. Only then he becomes released from samsara. So thus, he says, just as you blessed Mahabali and freed him, may I also. So may your feet be firmly planted on my head. Manmudni. Then not only that, your feet, like they were planted firmly on what? Kaliya Pane. Kaliya Pane. On the hood of Kaliya. Remember the Kaliya, the serpent. So his serpent was also protected by the Lord. No, he comes there. In fact, it wasn't that Kaliya was creating a problem, really speaking. He ran away from the ocean. So, out of fear of Garuda, he runs away from the ocean and comes into the river. So, into Yamuna. And that because he is so huge and the Yamuna river cannot handle his poison, etc. Therefore, he becomes a problem. So then afterwards Lord Krishna comes and subdues him and in fact releases him also. Later on, releases him. So he also blessed him. Ultimately, he blessed Kaliya also. So the one whose feet were resting on Kaliya's head, on like the head of Bali, Mahabali. Then Vikat Atavishu, Vikat Atavi, this is the frightening forest, Dandakaranya. So you were there also, as Sri Rama. So as Sri Rama, you were in the Dandaka forest, because of which you took care of all the Rakshasas there. Then Sri Venkatadri Shikhare. So in the Shikharam, you are also there. So firmly residing on the peak of Venkatadri mountains. So like that. Not only that, Chittepi Ananya Manasam. In the minds of the bhaktas. And also your feet are resting in the minds of, means your presence. Bhagwan's presence is available. All these different examples he gives. So, for different yugas also we can take. So, Kaliya so Krishna was in Dwapara Yuga, then Rama was in Treta Yuga, Venkatadri is Kali Yuga. So, in different yugas you have always been present. Your feet have been always present. So, unto you, unto those feet, he says, Shri Venkatesha Charanam Sharanam Prapadye. Then he says, okay, Amlana Rishyadavanitala Kirna Pushpau Shri Venkatadri Shikhara Bharanaya Manav Anandita Kilamano Nayanau Tavaitau Shri Venkatesha Charanam Sharanam Prapadye. So Amlana means that which are fresh, that which are not withered. Kirna Pushpau Rishya Davanitala. Davanitalam is on the surface. So here, after puja, etc. is done, he sees, Sri Venkatadri Shikhara Abharanaya Manav. So the feet of the Lord which are adorning the mountain. So in the temple, he sees the feet. And then puja, etc. is being done. And after the puja, flowers are scattered all over, all around the Lord, all around the feet of the Lord. So he says, on the earth. So Kirna Pushpa are the scattered flowers. So the flowers which are scattered on the earth after the puja is done. So here in the murti of the Lord, after worship, he says, they inspire joy in the bhakta. Anandita Akhila Mano Nayanau Tavaetau. So he says, in the minds and the hearts of the devotees, it inspires joy when he sees this. When he sees the feet of the Lord surrounded by flowers after the puja is done. He says, unto those feet, Sri Venkatesha Charanam Sharanam Prapadye. Prayah Prapanna Janata Prathamavagahyau Matustana Vivashiroramrutaya Manau Praptau Parasparatulamatulantaraute Shri Venkatesha Charanau Sharanam Prapadye. So the devotee, Prapanna Janata Prathamavagahyau, the one who is absorbed, having the darshanam of the Lord. Prapanna means to seek refuge. So the one who seeks refuge at the feet of the Lord, or having darshanam of the Lord, is what? He says he feels full, he feels fulfilled. Like what? Matuhu stanau iva shishora amrutaya mano. So like the infant, the infant gets so nourished by the mother's milk. So similarly the devotee feels nourished, feels fulfilled when he seeks the refuge at the feet of the Lord, having darshanam of the Lord, being absorbed in the Lord. Avagahyo means being absorbed in the Lord. He says, and what are these feet? He says, Paraspara Tulam Atulantaraute. So even though the feet of the Lord are compared to so many things here, but really speaking, the feet of the Lord are beyond comparison, he says. Even though I say the lotus, the feet of the Lord are like the lotus and the color and the gems, etc. But he says you can't really compare the feet of the Lord. They can only be compared to each other. So if at all I have to make a comparison, so the right foot of the Lord is like the left foot of the Lord, or the left foot is like the right Lord. This parasparam, tulam. It is atulam. It is incomparable. If at all, they can only be compared to each other. In the sense, they are incomparable. Bhagavan's greatness. Anyway, unto that feet, Sharanam Prapadye. Satvotarai Satata Sevya Padambujena Samsara Taraka Dayardra Driganchalena Samyopayantrumunina Mama Darshitau Te Shri Venkatesha Charanau Sharanam Prapadye. Mama Darshitau Te Mama Darshitau Saumyopayantru Munina. So in this verse, the author expresses his gratitude and acknowledges his teacher. So he says, Mama Darshito, it was taught to me. So your glory was taught to me. Saumya Upeyantra Munina. So by the Muni, Mahamuni, see, his teacher's name was Sri Manavala Mahamuni, this author's teacher. He was a Vishishta Advaitin. So he says, by him, this Muni, who accepted me as a student and who taught me about you. He says, Sattvotaraihi Satata Sevya Padambujena. So by the teacher who is endowed with Sattva Gunas, with great qualities, and who is Savyam, who was respected by all the people. Samsara Taraka Dayardra Driganchanena. So by the one who was so full of compassion towards me. So my teacher who himself, who's respected, who's full of great qualities, who was moved by compassion towards me and taught me this way for samsara taraka, means way to get over samsara by teaching me about you, he says. So the one who taught me about you, your mahima, your glory, your gunas. So your feet, in fact, the darshanam, who gave me darshanam of your nature, he says, unto that is the teacher who taught me about you, and unto you is my salutation. He says, I surrender. श्रीश श्रिया घटिकया त्वदुपाय भावे प्राप्ये त्वयि स्वयमुपेयतया स्फुरन्त्या नित्याश्रिताय निरवध्य गुणाय तुभ्यं स्याम किंकरो वृषगिरीश न जातु मह्यम. Shrisha means the Isha, the Lord of Shri, the Lord of Shri. Shriya Ghatikaya Tvat Upaya Bhave. See here again he talks of Bhagavan as Upayam and Upeyam. He is Prapyam. See, Upeyataya. Upeya is the goal, that which is to be achieved, and Upaya is the means. So here, the Lord is the, what is the goal? The Lord. Bhagavan is the goal. Vishishta Advaita. So the goal is Bhagavan. And what is the means? The means is also Bhagavan. In Vedanta, in Advaita, what they say? Goal is, so Bhagavan. The means is Jnanam. So Avidya. There is not Avidya, Jnanam based. Here he says, the goal is Bhagavan. The means, how do you get to Bhagavan? By seeking the blessing of Bhagavan, by surrender to the Lord. So and how will you get there? Well, the Lord himself will take you there. The Lord himself will, this is Sharanagati. Lord will take you there. There are two types of surrender talked about. So one is, so like even, like a child, it's called, this Marjara, Kishora Nyaya. So Kishora is a child, like the mother and child, So two examples are given. One is the example of the cat and the kitten. So like even the cat, so picks up the kitten and takes it from point A to point B. Kitten doesn't have to do anything. So it doesn't do any action. It just stays, in fact, still. The mother picks it up and carries it to safety with her mouth. The other example is of a monkey, the monkey with a baby. So monkey also takes the child from place to place. But then the baby there the baby has to hold on to the mother. There the mother holds on to the baby. So this is the difference. So here he says this one type of surrender, Sharanagati, is where the Bhagavan does everything, he says. There are two views. One is devotee doesn't have to do anything, just surrender. Just surrender to the Lord and Bhagavan takes care of everything. And in the other one, the devotee also has to do. So you have to do pujas, you have to do prayers, you have to do anushtanam, nitya karma, all that you have to do. And then Bhagavan will, as a phalam, karma phalam, Bhagavan takes care of you. So anyway, these are the two ideas in this Sharanagati. But the idea here is the Bhagavan is Prapyam, he is the goal to be achieved, and he is also at the same time, he is the Upayam, he is the means. But not only God, he says, Shriya Ghatikaya. Even Shri is also Upayam, he says. So Goddess Lakshmi also is a means. So not only Sri Vishnu is the means, Goddess Lakshmi also, because she is with him all the time. So she is also described as the means, Tvad Upaya Bhave, means of becoming one with the Lord. Nityashritaya Niravadya Gunaya Tubhyam Syam Kim Karaha Vrishagirisha Natu Jatamahya. So Vrishagirisha, the one who is the Lord of Venkata hills, so unto him he says Nityashritaya Niravadya Gunaya, the one who is without any faults, without any limit, the one who is without any limits. So may I always have this Kinkaraha Bhavaha. Kinkaram is Dasyam. So Nitya Ashritaya. So for me who is seeking refuge in you, may I always have this attitude of devotion. He says, Dasya Bhakti. Dasyam in Vishishta Dvaita, in Dvaita, they always talk of Dasyam. The different forms of bhakti are there, expressions of bhakti, like Hanumanji's. So Hanumanji's devotion was manifest in terms of his servitude, the willingness, the desire to serve the Lord and surrender to the Lord. So here also he says, so may I also have this particular attitude of devotion in the form of service or servitude, dasyam to Bhagavan. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari